What's going on, New York Giants fans? Hit Squad back at it with another video. And we're crossing enemy territories again. And we have AK Eagles podcast on the channel. My man, how has it been? It feels so good to finally do a video with you after all of this time, man. How are you?
Hey man, it is an honor and a pleasure to be here. I appreciate you extending the hand and the offer to come on with you and talk. This is a big weekend for us, and
Definitely.
I always see in the giant chat rooms we always talk there, but we've never actually been able to do it face to face. So
Yeah,
I am super psyched about this one, bro. Seriously.
definitely, man. And the feeling is very much mutual, man. I mean, I've been wanting to do this for quite some time. And not only do we get to do it now, but we have another game against you guys at the end of the season, January 8th. That's going to be a good one. That might be very important for the Giants. Maybe not as important for the Eagles, as you guys are the number one seed. Not only that, the best team in the league right now. Now, you guys can find AK Eagles Podcast, not only his YouTube channel, but his Twitter in the description box below. And while you're there, you can follow us on Twitter as well. Join the Hit Squad, hit that subscribe button, and let us know your thoughts below. Now, my man, I mean, it must feel good being 11-1 right now. It must feel good knowing that you guys are just dominating right now, not just offensively, but defensively as well. I mean, as a Giants fan, you guys have brought a lot of pain to my life as a Giants fan throughout the years. It has not been fun playing the Eagles. And I think a lot of Giants fans could agree with that statement. I got to ask, man, I mean, what is it? Really, what is it right now that is having you guys win these games? Because I mean, I was not seeing this going into this season. I really wasn't.
Jalen Hurts, bro. Plain and
Jalen
simple.
Hurts.
I'm not even playing, man. I mean, listen, we all know, at least we all should know. And by the way, guys, I'm not here and throwing this in his face. I'm not even bragging. This is just straight facts. This is just two dudes talking football. He's just the best right now out of all quarterbacks. He is. Now, I know people sit there and say Pat Mahomes has more yards, he has more touchdowns. I understand that. But I also have seen Pat Mahomes lose two games.
You
I've
could make
seen
that
him be the
argument, yeah.
reason for those two losses. Tell me one that Jalen Hurts has lost. Because it wasn't the Commanders. He didn't lose that. Quez Watkins lost that when he fumbled the ball after he caught it. A running back fumbled the ball. Like Jalen has no control after that. And that AJ pick during the Commander game, that was just the right place at the right time for that safety.
It was a
Because
good
I
play.
won't even lie, bro. I won't even lie. When he released that ball, I was actually live streaming that game. I held my breath because I instantly saw that safety collapsing. You know,
Yeah, it was a
after
great
they
play.
showed the replay, dude, that might be the best ball I've ever seen Jalen throw yet. You know what I mean? Like that
Hmm.
was a great throw. And it just so happened to bounce off of AJ's hands and the defender's hands was right there. And that's all that happened, So no, Jalen's the reason we're winning, whether it's with his legs or with his arms. You can't stop him.
Yeah, I
It's just,
mean, and I got to be honest with you. I've been very critical of Jalen Hurts. I think a lot of people have.
yeah.
I personally thought at the time, Carson Wentz didn't deserve to be traded, and Jalen Hurts just be put as that guy. And I've been proved wrong. I really have been. I think, can all agree that Carson Wentz is a mess. And Jalen Hurts, I mean, I did not expect the kid to take the step that he took and the leap that he took this season compared to last season. I mean, it looks like he's really fixed his fundamentals. It looks like his feet have gotten better. I mean, he just looks to me like a different quarterback. And I mean, Nick Sirianni, I mean, I know a lot of people, and I've been saying that Brian Dable's been coach of the year, but in my opinion, you got to put Nick Sirianni in that conversation as well, just due to the fact of the record, how this team is playing. You look at the teams that you guys have beaten in the fashion that you guys have beaten. That's worth noting. Um, as a Giants fan, I'm not feeling good about this game. I got to be honest with you, AK. I'm really not. Um, Giants, we just tied with Washington. We really should have put that game away. We had a lot of opportunities to. We shoot ourselves in the foot. We can never make it easy, and we tie the game with Washington. So we're still sitting in a pretty good spot right now. But one, we never play you guys. Well, excuse me, we play you guys tough, but we find ways to lose, and you guys just have our number. That's just facts. That is the honest truth. You guys have our number, whether that's in MetLife, whether that's in the link. And I want to sit here and say the Giants will win this game. But it's hard for me to say that without me lying to not just you, but lying to the people and lying to myself. I do hope I hold that that fan side of me that's just like I think we can win every week. But I'm also realistic too, and I look at that duo you got over there, AK AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. Boy, are those two balling, especially AJ Brown, man. I mean, huge game against Tennessee, but did you think that he was gonna pan out like this for Jalen Hurts? I mean, because he's having that Amari Cooper, Dak Prescott, leap. I feel in Jalen Hurts' career. I mean, you saw what Amari did for Dak Prescott. I feel like we're seeing similar results here.
Well, to go back on what you were saying a little earlier before we get to AJ, listen, I actually agree with you on Coach of the Year, and I know that might come to a shocker to you and some
Yeah,
people,
a
but
little.
listen, I mean, in all honesty, I know a lot of people out there didn't think what would happen this year was going to happen, but us as Eagle fans, there's a certain aspect you could feel this team this year kind of reminded you of the 2017 team. You know,
Mm,
you could kind of feel the vibes in the locker room. The players speak a lot, even though they don't say anything. You know what I'm
gotcha.
saying?
Yeah, definitely.
And you could just feel it. Now, that's why I give it to DeBall because you guys have limited talent on offense other than
Yeah,
Saquon.
we do.
I mean, let's be honest. And defensively, just starting to build that up again. After losing Bradbury last year, and you're in total remode build right now. But the fact is, the ball's got you winning.
Yeah,
With
definitely.
limited talent. You guys are kind of where we were last year. You're following our footsteps. In all honesty, and we talked about this in the off season. This past year,
Mm,
you guys, it seems like we were 1 year behind Dallas and you're 1 year behind us. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Like, and now look at us. We're all three dominant right now. And even you guys, with all the injuries you have,
Which is a lot.
are still are still dominant. Now, you say that it's a sad tie for you guys, when in fact I look at it complete opposite. Good shit on your part, bro.
Ah,
That was a terrible show. Listen, that was a terrible showing for Washington. They were 100%, bro. There's no excuse for them to tie with you. You're the one that has the flaws. You're the one with all the injuries.
I mean, you got a
You
point there.
should be. But the fact that they tied you and they're healthy, bro, that's sad on their part. So I actually give you guys the nod on that tie because you came in with way less weapons.
Yeah,
Way less.
no, definitely, and especially not just offensively are we handicapped, but our secondary right now with Adoree Jackson, being out, he
Yep.
may possibly play against Washington. I don't think he's going to play against Philly. Fabian Moreau's been stepping up, but we've just been dealing with a lot of injuries. We're getting players back healthy, and again, we it never should have gotten to that point. For us to even tie with Washington. I'm gonna just be honest because again, there was many. opportunities for the Giants to put this game away, and
Mhm.
we couldn't. And going against a team like Philly, who just dismantled Tennessee. Now the Giants beat Tennessee for sure, but you guys completely dismantled Tennessee in that fashion. I mean, I expect this game to be competitive on the Giants' end, but no, I'm not sure the Giants are going to be able to stop that passing game for Philly. I believe they'll be able to contain Jalen Hurts and somewhat of the run game, hopefully. But that passing game with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, I don't know if Quez Watkins is going to play. I know he has that shoulder, but it's going to be
Oh,
hard, man.
he's playing. He was
That's going to be
practicing
even
today.
harder for the Giants secondary. Who, I mean, again, I expect it to be competitive, and you guys have, in my opinion, the best offensive line in all of football right now. And this
Yes.
defense, it is clicking. It is getting better. We had 5 sacks and 10 QB hits, excuse me, against Washington. But Washington's offensive line isn't Philly's offensive line. Now, there were certain games that I felt Philly's O line was a little suspect, but I'm not going to look at that in its entirety. I am
Mhm.
completely aware that this is a dominant offensive line. I mean, and Tennessee has a very stout defensive line, and I thought you guys handled that defensive line very well.
Yeah, man. Listen, there's a few things I got to say here, and it is no disrespect to you guys, but I mean, I'm with you, man. Like this should be a 40 burger. I'm not even playing, bro.
Jesus.
Okay, and when I say this, listen, you come out and you will be competitive at first. You will be, but we get to a point in the game where you will see the talent eventually overtake everything. You know what I'm saying?
I see
Like
what
you
you're
will
saying.
start seeing, yeah, you start seeing eventually somewhere in the game where AJ Brown and Devontae Smith get to that point where they're just too much to contain, or Jalen is just too much, or any of these weapons that we have, and not the fact that you can just run for 350 on the ground, but you can also pass for 350 in the air. The only other team to do that in NFL history was the '87 Raiders, and that was with Bo Jackson. So to me, that speaks very big volumes.
No,
I mean,
I
you
see
now
what you're
put this
saying.
team, so you're right. This offensive line is dominant. That it is. I even said it 2 nights ago on that one rant live I have. This team is better than our 2017 team, and it's no disrespect to them, but they are. Jalen is better than Carson Wentz and Nick Foles. AJ Brown is better than Alshon Jeffrey. Devontae Smith is better than Nelson Aguilar because Torrey Smith was injured for like 6 weeks there at the beginning when he got
I
injured
remember
against
that.
Baltimore.
Mhm.
And then our slot was Greg Ward. Well, Quez Watkins is better than Greg Ward. I call the tight end position a tie because I'm not going to say Goddard's better than Ertz during that season because Ertz had that 115 catches,
Yeah,
that year and broke the tight end record. Our offensive line, three of them are still there. The other two have filled the shoes very nicely.
yeah,
Defensively, you got the two best corner duos in the whole NFL in Bradbury and Slay.
yeah. Former
They
Giant,
are the best.
former Giant.
Yeah, and then our secondary is held very nicely with CJ being out. Our linebacking core, I'll kind of give it a nod over our Super Bowl linebacking core. They're playing out of this world, and our defensive line only gotten better. So yeah, man, it's very impressive what Howie has done with this team, and like I said, it's no disrespect to you guys. You guys have done one hell of a job over there. I mean, you got 8 wins. No one even seen that coming. You know,
Well, I
like
mean, right now we got 7 at the moment, but I'm
oh
gonna be
seven.
no,
Sorry.
but I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be a 40 burger. I do still have the Giants losing. Don't get me wrong. I still have the Giants losing. I don't think it's gonna be a 40. But again, for me, it's gonna be the secondary for the Giants. Can they hold up? Going against that
Yeah.
crazy duo over there in AJ Brown and Devonta. I mean, it's gonna be tough. I mean, I could sit here and say, they should follow the formula of what Washington did what Washington did against you guys this year. I think they could even execute it better than what Washington did. But at the same time, I mean, our linebacking play, it hasn't been good. So it's really affected our run game. I mean, we are we have issues tackling right now. I mean, but at the same time, our two edge rushers, especially Aziz Ojolari, is back. And they're starting to really click. And that's helping Dexter Lawrence, who's having a phenomenal year. Leonard Williams, he may be out. Hopefully, he's going to be in. He's dealing with an injury. But I also look at that Eagles defense again. While they are stout, I do feel that they could be ran on. I mean, and Daniel Jones, he does get it done with his legs. Take it for what you will. I know that Tannehill had what I think it was 34 yards last week against you guys. Um, and then you have Saquon Barkley as well, who he was actually put on the injury report list yesterday. Well, it being today, but by the time everyone sees this, yesterday with a neck injury. Doesn't appear to be too serious. It's actually been an injury that the Giants have been dealing with the last couple months now with different players. But I do think that this team, they're gonna keep it competitive. But again, this is a better team that they're playing. And the Giants just don't have that manpower offensively, in my opinion, to go against that defense. And, defensively, if Adoree Jackson was playing in this game, I would feel more confident. I would feel even more confident. But he's looking like he may not play. So I'm gonna be honest with you, man. And I know you said it, you have this as a 40 burger, and I definitely want to get to your score prediction. Um, I got this being Eagles 31, the Giants, I have them being at 20 points. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I wanted to say 21, but I really have them being at 20 points. I could see a game where it's 34-17. I could see that where they do keep it competitive and kind of similar to Dallas on Thanksgiving. Fourth quarter, the Giants kind of collapsed and Dallas got hot and scored more points. I could see a situation like that against Philly. But again, I'm hoping that that's not the outcome because even with that, if the Giants were to lose this game, we're still in pretty fair condition in terms of the playoffs. We right now, I'm expecting a loss, and I'm very focused on that Washington game, man. But what is your score prediction? I know you said a 40 burger, but your exact score prediction, what are your thoughts, man?
Listen, and like I said, man, that's not being disrespectful. Like
No,
I
I
said,
get it.
that's just literally talent overtaking it all. Eventually, like you said, you competitive, but then what is that point to whenever that competitiveness drops? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, I hear you.
Like
I hear you.
because talent does matter. We all know that. We've seen it. When you ain't got talent, you don't got dubs. You
Yeah,
know.
and it's
Um,
hard for us right now because we don't have
yeah,
talent at the wide receiver position outside of Darius Slayton and this Isaiah Hodgins kid who we signed off a Buffalo Bills practice squad, who's looking pretty solid right now for us. But even then,
yeah.
they don't compare to those two duos that you guys have.
I have never seen a team, man, do what we did when we played Tennessee last week, especially our first drive, dude. You know how many penalties we had that first drive?
How many?
That was a 16 play drive to open that game up for us. But in that 16 play drive, we had penalty after penalty. And every time we got a penalty, we got a first down.
Wow.
Like, yeah, you don't see that. Usually, when you shoot yourself in the foot, it's hard to come back. These guys just kind of laughed at it and just kept playing. Like it was nothing. Like, oh, 20 yards, shit, here, first down. Like it, you, they were 7-4 when they came in playoffs in the picture.
Yeah,
We made them sit their starters, and it's not even close to the end of the season.
I
Like,
know.
dude, that speaks volumes,
Yeah,
and
you
that
guys
makes you
dismantled
confident.
them.
Yeah, I mean, and we sat our starters. It's not even the end of the season. Like, uh, it's just good to have that feeling. It's not
Definitely.
it's not trying to rub it in no one's face. We're just being real here. I mean, I don't really think it's going to be a 40 burger. That's honestly, I was just capping. Um,
It's all good. Not speak
but
speak your truth,
no,
man. Say how you feel, how you
no,
really feel.
I'm gonna say it's like 34-17, bro. Like in
Okay,
all honesty, you know,
that's
I
fair.
think there will. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that you guys aren't gonna score. You guys are respectively 7 and 4
7-5,
and
yeah,
1, 5 and
7-4-1.
1,
Yeah, seven.
7-4 and 1,
Yeah, 7-4-1.
7-4 and 1. So that's respectable. Like we've been saying all night here. With all the injuries and the limited talent you already had, that's one hell of a job. Not to
Yeah,
you guys, but
definitely, definitely.
it, it, it only lasts so long.
I mean, we're getting healthier. The good thing is that
Yeah,
right now
I
we
know.
are getting healthier. They may
Yeah.
not all play against Philly, but again, that's why I'm looking towards Washington. I'm looking towards Minnesota. But obviously, you want to take this 1 week at a time. But again, we're not the Giants right now. We're just not there yet to beat a team like Philly. I hold hope that we could somehow pull off an upset because there's been games this year that the Giants shouldn't have won against, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. You could say Green Bay at the time, but they found ways to win. Tennessee, they found ways to win. So, there's that
Can I ask
small
you a
glimmer of
question?
hope.
I
What's
want to
up?
hear it from a giant. I want to hear it from a giant, man.
Sure.
Did you see that shit on Monday whenever they gave Dallas the 50% chance to win, to
The
go to
the
the
Super
Super
Bowl,
Bowl and win the Super
I
Bowl, and us
did.
a 30% chance? Can I please have your feelings on that? Because that's what my rant was about on Monday night. I think you
Okay.
were in there for that a little bit.
So my thing is that I think if I had to put my money on which team do I believe would go to the Super Bowl if it was between Dallas or Philly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would feel more comfortable putting Philadelphia, just because I I I, I don't know if I can trust the Cowboys in that situation to win that game. I'm looking at history. I'm looking at the last decade of Cowboys ball. They have high expectations and then they completely underperform in the playoffs. I mean, they underperformed last year in the playoffs. Now, this year, the difference is they have a very stout defense. I mean, this defense is serious. Probably, I would say you guys statistically have the best defense, no doubt. I believe they're a top two defense. I think you two are neck and neck. But
We're actually second in defense. We're number one in everything but sacks. Dallas has us on sacks. Everything
I
else
would
we're
still
one.
take you guys over Dallas. I'm gonna just be honest with you, just because you guys you've been there, you've done it. Dallas could say the same thing, but that was over what? We're almost talking 30
26
years
years.
now. You know,
26 years.
that's even I'm 26 years old. You feel me?
I
So it's
know, right?
like, you guys, you've been there, you've done that recently. And again, I trust Jalen Hurts and them to get it done in the playoffs. I don't know if you guys make it to the Super Bowl, but I think you guys have a lot better chance of getting there than Dallas does by a long shot. But that's just me. I also really dislike Dallas. Not as much as I
Yeah.
dislike Philly. And anyone that knows me, I dislike Philly more than any team in this division. So that's how I feel.
And in all honesty, man, I don't really care about that. I mean, I'm just gonna let my quarterback do the talking
I
for
hear that.
me,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
that's what he's doing. But everybody needs to realize, I mean, Dak's not even over 100 passer rating right now. He's played 6 games, and in 6 games, he's thrown 7 interceptions, while my quarterback has played all season long and has only thrown 3.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
it's just blasphemy, man. The hatred's got to stop. Because if we were Kansas City, this wouldn't be happening. If we were the 49ers, this wouldn't be happening. If we were the Rams, you know what I'm saying,
No,
man?
I
It's
hear
just
you.
because of us that everyone's like, oh, it's Dallas. It's like, come on.
No,
Like they
I
had the
definitely
number
agree
one
with you
offense
there.
last year, bro. They had the number one offense last year, and they crapped out at home against the Niners.
Yeah.
They had a top 5 defense last year, crapped out against the Niners. When they went with Dez in his rookie year, crapped out. Like, dude, that's all they fucking do is, oh, sorry,
No,
crapped out.
you're good. You're good. Hey, look, I like I said, that's why I would choose Philly over Dallas, just because you guys have been there and done that of recent, and I can't until they do it. I can't put my faith in Dallas in that moment to get it done, especially if they're in the playoffs playing a team like the 49ers, who I understand, they don't really got a QB right now, but I trust Kyle Shanahan over Mike McCarthy. I trust if they were even if they played Tom Brady in the Bucks, I trust Tom Brady despite that very suspect offensive line to somehow pull off a win against Dallas. It's just I'm just looking at recent history of this Cowboys team, and that's just what they do. That's just what it is. So I mean, it's going to be a fun game on Sunday. I'm hoping we can pull off an upset, but again, I'm predicting a loss. You're predicting a win. Our scores are pretty similar. I got us losing 31 20. You have Eagles winning 34-17. I mean, it's going to be a tough one, man. But we're going to sign out of here. AK, you got anything else you want to say to the people before we sign up?
Appreciate you having me on, man. Thank you so much. It was so much fun. Hope we can do it again soon. And
Definitely.
yeah, you catch me on AkEagles podcast. I gotta warn you, if you don't like cursing, I'm probably not the guy for you, because that's what I do. I just speak from the heart, and I'm passionate, and it just comes out how it comes out. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, on the road to 1K. Just got over 500 last week, so
Congrats. Congrats.
just moving up, man. Appreciate that. So, thank you
Absolutely.
for having me on, and look forward to it next time.
Absolutely, man. Again, you guys can find AK Eagles podcast in the description box below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, join the Hit Squad, and let us know your thoughts on this game below. Until then, we'll see you guys on the next video.